everybody, my name is Cheri. Welcome to my stamp studio. Oh, the holiday catalog is live, which means now I can open the pages and show you the inside of it. So let's take a second and look at this suite that I'm going to, no, not really the suite. I'm going to do the stamp sets today, but I'm going to mix and match the stuff. So I'm going to work with the Season of Elegance. It's got 2 stamp sets, 2 die sets, ribbons, a folder, so much stuff. So for this particular suite, I currently have an offer that if you purchase the suite for me, you get to do a free online class. I will send you, you'll use your suite ingredients. So you'll use your embellishments and your paper and ribbon and that kind of stuff. Anything that is not included in the suite, like the card bases, the envelopes, all of that. If we use any other, sometimes I add a little bit of different ribbon, maybe a different embellishment. Today I'm using the snowflakes, so there's a chance those could make an appearance. I haven't designed the cards yet. So go to my website. You can learn all about the free online class. I do have an add-on, so I'll do that real quick. You can get this class, and then if you add on the Shepherd's Care stamp set, you'll get some additional projects, and that's just for the people that add on that stamp set. So a note about this, the day that I'm filming this, which will not be the day it posts, this stamp set is currently unavailable. It must have been the one that when the catalog went live, they didn't anticipate would sell as well as it did. The good news is we produce our own stamps, so they are due back in before the end of the month, and you have till the 28th to get the free online class. If the Shepherd set is not in by the end of the month, then I'll extend that part of the offer. So I don't want you to go look and be like, oh, I can't get that, because it is coming in. You can go watch this video, and here's another little sample, a super cute set. So I have that. Let's take a look at a couple of the samples that I have so far for you. So this, if you go watch this video, this uses the whole suite, so you can see kind of what you'd be getting. Here is the paper that's included in the suite. I'm not using that paper today. The stamps in this are so beautiful that you can easily fill up, just like this one. You could fill up a whole entire page, and that's what we're gonna do. So we will do a version-ish of this card with some paper included on it in the class. So like I said, there's 2 stamp sets. So they're here, the Peaceful Evergreens and the Peaceful Season. One is just trees. This can be used for scrapbooking. If you go camping in July, you could pull this out and use it. You could use it for masculine cards year round, just some great nature cards. It does not have to be a Christmas set. It really is just a Christmas set when then you go and mix it with the fancy paper. Even the die, not a Christmas die. So as I said, the stamps and the dies are going to be the stars of today's cards. So I want you to see all of the dies that I won't be using, because there's so many dies, especially in the Peaceful Season. You get the one that cuts out Christmas, which is, hang on, the one that I used on this card. I did it in 2 different colors. You could go watch that one. And then you get all of the fun little shapes for the words. And then down here we have some trees that I'm not using. We have some snow, but the really fun piece that I am going to use today is this bow. So let's get going on the card. I went with all green. So really you could not put the bow on top, not put the snowflakes, or you could put the snowflakes and just have it be a winter card if you put a different sentiment on it. So I'm going to use Old Olive, will be the base. I am going to go ahead and stamp the inside of this card, because I forgot on my other one to stamp it first, and because it's got stuff on the front that makes it raised up, it was hard to stamp. So I have Old Olive, then I have a piece of Basic Beige, and I'm going to show you when I did the card the first time, I used all Very Vanilla. And then we have some Very Vanilla, so I'll show you the difference. For my tree, for my banner, and then this is the, I think it's called Festive Glimmer paper. It's in the annual catalog, holiday catalog. It will be listed down below with the ingredients to the card. So let's do the inside. I'm just going to use 2 stamp colors, Shaded Spruce and Old Olive. So I'm going to take Shaded Spruce, and we're going to stamp this part first, and then we'll do the other part. So I'm going to have to open these again. If you're doing your Christmas cards, then I would do all of, open them all and do this one stamp on all of them. So this says Christmas in the Shaded Spruce. And then underneath it, so it's going to say Christmas love from our home to yours. On this side, it would be really pretty too if you embossed it. I love to emboss my Christmas cards, but on this one, I just kept it kind of simple. And then let's do Old Olive, and there's three tree sizes. And I'm going to use this one on the front, and so it's these two that are on the inside of the card. I'm going to do the Old Olive. I'll just put one here just to kind of make it pretty. Now, I do like to do my envelopes, so the trees would be really pretty on the envelope as well. And just one there. So super simple, but our card on the inside is now decorated. So we have that. And then let's take our basic beige. So I'm going to shimmer a couple of the pieces of paper. I will put the link down below if you haven't seen the video where I make the shimmer solution. So it is Wink of Stella and glycerin. And then this is the one I made way back when if you watched that video, it's been several weeks and I just keep using the same one, as do people who've come to my house to stamp. And then I just have the big block and then a blending brush. It's been the same blending brush that I have used again since I started. There's already some here from when I did the 2 samples. So I'm just gonna make this shiny. So I'm just gonna add a little bit. It does make the paper wet. The glycerin, obviously it dries. So while it's wet, you can see it looks darker. I don't know that it will dry before the end of this video, but it does go back to basic beige with just a shimmer on top of it. So I've got that shimmered. Make sure paper, if you remember our shimmery cardstock, it looks very similar to that. Everybody in Card Club, we did this a couple of months ago now. So they all have a little thing that they can put their solution in. Then I'm going to take this piece here, which I'm going to cut my banner out of. So I'm just going to put some on here too. I recommend that you set these aside and let them dry. They stamp a little bit better, but also when you put them through your die cut machine, which I'm going to do in just a second, it does get it on the plate. But when you're filming, you just got to do what you got to do, right? So we'll come back to this as well because I'm going to use that for the sentiment. So I'm going to take this piece of vanilla here. It's not going to be shimmered because I like the play on the cardstock with shimmery and non-shimmery. I mean, let's face it, the shimmer is my favorite, but I like the way it looks if you do both. So on my first card, I mixed these 2 colors and I do kind of like it. But then on the second one, I just went shaded spruce. So this is the large tree and it's going to be die cut out. So I'm just going to do shaded spruce. This stamps so pretty. It has all of the different layers of rubber, so it makes it look like you stamped some darker than others, but it's just one stamp. You pull it down and see what I mean, you get those. So it looks like there's different layers of snow on the tree, some where you just see the tree. Really, really pretty. So that's that one. And then let's cut these out. We'll do that and then we'll stamp the background. That'll give it another second to dry. So I'm going to do the tree. I want you to see these. And my die cut machine is buried over here, so I can't move it for you to see. Here is the banner. It's just a 1 piece. Here's the tree, and the set does come with dies to cut out all 3. And then here is the bow. It's 4 pieces. So there's the bottom, the 2 bow parts, and then the top piece. And I'm going to put those on the glimmer paper. So let me cut these out. And then we have our bow pieces. Most of them stuck to the plate. So let me pull these off. You could use this bow. If you look in the catalog, they have it used several different ways. I just wanted to top it on the top of my tree. So we have our background piece. And I'm going to use Old Olive on it. Let me do the shaded spruce because it's still open and I have it on my hands. I'm going to do the Joy and Love to You and the shaded spruce. I may have done an Old Olive in the other one. It doesn't really matter. I think I did do an Old Olive. So we'll just have lots of different looks. And then this is my favorite stamp in the set, this little grouping of trees. So you're just going to fill this whole thing up with it. And this is Old Olive. A little trick, it fits better if you put this first group down just a fraction. Otherwise at the top, you don't end up with enough space to do another row, and you have to kind of do a half row. So the trick is when you're doing something like this, see how nicely they fit, but you don't want them to all line up. So every time I kind of move them over a little bit. So that means sometimes you might have to do like 2 and a bit. It was really 2 bits in one. And then here we'll go more for 1. And then that gets you just about a whole one up here. And then that way you don't want them all lined up because they won't be perfect and it'll look like you meant for them to be perfect and they aren't. So I'm gonna stick all this together. There's no ribbon on this because I'm letting the bow be the ribbon. So get this nice and flat. So we're gonna talk a little bit about adhesives on this card, because I'm going to use a couple of different ones. So to put this on, I'm just going to use regular seal. This is just our standard. You need it stuck together. It works really well. It is my favorite of our adhesives. So just put that on here. Then I'm going to use a dimensional to put my tree and my banner on. These are about gone, but I like to use all these little bits right here. And this one should be enough if you pull this one off to do the tree. I want it to be, if I wasn't putting the bow, I might put it a little closer to the top, but because I'm putting the bow on, I'm going to move it just a fraction down so it doesn't look quite as centered this time. And then let's put the banner on, and on it, I'm going to stick my dimensionals right here on the edge. So we have adhesives for every use, except for a glue gun. We don't have a glue gun, and we do need that on some of our kits. But if you have them all there, then on one card, just like this one, you can use all of the ones that work best for what your need is. So this fits just perfect over the top of that tree. Now I'm going to switch to my Seal Plus for this, because the first time I did Seal Plus, because my glue wasn't sitting here, and then it held really well. The second time I did exclusively glue and it popped apart. Because I think the Seal Plus, because it's glimmer paper, it holds a little bit better. So see how you have these 2 pieces of your bow. So I'm just going to put some Seal Plus right here and then kind of tuck it in. It comes off in little strips, so you could pull off the strips that are overhanging. I just kind of tucked them. And so this is going to make your 2 bows. So on the second time I did it, I used all glue, and these just kept popping apart, and then I had to put something heavy on it to hold them down. And that flattened my bow, which is, if you're gonna mail it, it's probably gonna get flattened anyways. Not all the way flat, but a little bit. So it's not the end of the world. But then I decided I would just use the Seal Plus for where I need it. So now I'm gonna grab my card, and just right here, I'm gonna stick the bow on top. And again, I'm gonna use some Seal Plus. And I put it a little bit higher up the tree than at the top of the tree. It just makes your card extend a little bit more. And then I'm going to put some Seal Plus right here. And you stick your bow on. It's adorable. It makes really cute tags too. There's a cat here on my table. Have any Seal Plus under there? It does. And then the only place now you can see that stuck on here, the other one, when it was the glue, those were doinging up. I smashed it myself when I was trying to touch it. The nice thing about the glimmer paper is it kind of moves. But now I do have this little top piece, and I'm going to use my fine tip glue. You could use liquid glue for this part, but because I need my fine tip glue in just a second for my embellishments. Have that. And how adorably sweet is that bow? Think of it in one of our pink glimmer papers on a little girl's birthday card, on top of a cupcake, or holding, you know, at the bottom of a balloon stem on a bouquet of flowers. There's so many uses for this bow other than what you could make into a masculine card. And in fact, like when my father-in-law was alive, often my Christmas cards, I tried to keep them more masculine because it was just him. So I probably wouldn't put the bow on for him, but I would do this next step. So I'm going to use the white loose snowflakes. I love these. They're not in this suite, but they will work with so many things. So I'm going to put 3 of them on my little banner here, and then I'm going to do 6. So we have an odd number. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Just kind of bringing them around. Get the lid back on this. So the fine tip glue, if you haven't used it, it has this little needle on the top, which it's not the direction I should see it, and it just slides in there. It keeps it from drying up. To use your white snowflakes, I found the best tool is to grab the goobie end of your, take your pick tool, which is a tip that you can add. It's not the one that comes with. And just pick them up and then pop them on. So there's 2 different sizes of snowflakes in this. There's a large and a small. So there's 3 of the big ones, and then I'm going to try to get little ones for the rest of the card. I had a real fun time dividing all these up in your Try It class bags if you're doing my Try It class, because I think that they're on 2 cards. So that's a big one. I did find as I was dividing them up, that's a big one too. The big ones tended to be on top, so I had to keep shaking it up. And I think there's more little ones than than big ones. So see, we're gonna need the fine tip glue anyway, so it works well to have it there. Isn't that simple? You probably can't quite see the sparkle on this card because the whole back and then this little banner are sparkled. So let's look at the different variations then. Here it is with the smushed bow. So if you do mail it, it might get more smushed, but it's still cute. But I had to because it had to be glued on there. So this one has the Joy and Love to You in spruce. This one has it in olive. I think I like it in the spruce. I think it kind of ties it together with the tree. And then I told you that I did my original one. I did it on all vanilla. And I wanted the tree to pop a little bit more, especially when I take pictures. So you might, yeah, it's really pretty in real life, but I know this tree is going to kind of get lost in the background when I go to take pictures of it in a minute. So it's all vanilla, and then I 2-toned the tree, and I much prefer the tree just on its own. I think that also helps it pop a little bit from the back, but they're all super cute. I would send them to anyone. So there you go. If you are interested in taking my online class, go to my website. I'll put the link down under this video if you're watching it on YouTube. If you are on my email list, then you've gotten plenty of advance notice for it. Those of you that have registered for it, just make sure that by the 28th of September, you have added the suite. I did see that the embellishments are on low inventory, and you will need those to complete the class. You also need to buy the suite from me to get the free class. But there's other ways. If you have already bought the suite for yourself or through someone else, you can sign up and take the class one of the other ways I have it offered as well. Have a great day, and I'll catch you back here later. Bye.